Hi everyone, it's Gina from SistersTalk Radio.
And Andrea from SistersTalk Radio.
Yesterday we made an announcement on our fan page that we wanted to backtrack to and talk a little bit about. And so if you have not been on our fan page yet, yesterday we decided to announce, make it official that we're getting married.
Oh yes, we're doing the whole thing.
Yes.
Tying the knot.
No more living in sin. Yeah, so I told my 15-year-old son that we were getting married, and he looked at us and he said, I thought you guys were already married. And I said, no, we've just been living in sin. And he said, oh, okay. You know, my kids are just kind of like that. And I think because of the fact that we're living together, last time I lived with someone, I was married to that person, his father.
Right.
And his father is living with someone, and he's married to her. So he's got it in his mind that people live together when they're married. He ain't gone to college yet or none of that, so he doesn't know that people don't have to be married to live together.
Exactly. He'll learn.
So we got the question of who proposed to whom. And I think you guys are going to be surprised that I was the one who proposed.
Yes. Surprised because we've talked about this before, and that I was going to be the one to propose. I think that's been the expectation from the start.
Well, expectation, not on my part, but...
probably on my part.
Because I want to be as non-traditional as possible with all of this. I'm wearing like a really, really, really light pink dress to my wedding, and Andrea goes, well, why? Is it because this is your second marriage? I'm like, no, it's because it's non-traditional, and we want to be as non-traditional as possible. So I wasn't expecting Andrea to propose, but we kind of posted this question on our fan page months and months and months ago, and we said, with same-gender couples, how do you decide who's going to propose? And some people were like, you know, nobody really proposed. We just said, hey, let's get married, and then we started planning a wedding, but nobody proposed to the other person. Some people said, you know, some people are really traditional, and they believe that the more masculine person in the relationship should propose. Now, I don't agree with that whatsoever. But for other people who are very traditional, that was kind of how they wanted to do it. Everybody had kind of opinions across the board.
Yeah.
Andrea said, well, I want to be the person to propose.
Yeah.
I have always dreamt of being the person to propose. I want to get her a ring. I want to, you know, find a perfect romantic spot. You know, I want to make this big deal.
Right.
So she decided she wanted to propose. So for the first time in my life, I was going to allow her to lead. Right?
Exactly.
For the first time in our relationship, I was going to let Andrea lead.
Okay, hold up for a second. I pursued this relationship. So I started that.
That's true.
And I laid the first kiss on.
She did.
So you know, I have to have you know, hold.
So I thought she might be able to pull this off. I thought, ooh, 3 for 3, she might actually be able to pull it off.
Impatient is all Gina is here.
No, I'm not impatient.
It's only been a year and a half.
See, what had happened was, we have been talking about getting married for about a year. We've been together a year and a half, and we started talking about, even before we were living together, we were like, well, you know, I don't want to move in with somebody unless this is a person I know I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and how do you feel about actually getting married? So we've been talking about it since before we even moved in together. And so we've been talking about it for like a year, right? A year we've been talking about it.
Oh, you're so impatient.
Okay, I'm not impatient. Just let me finish. Okay, so do you have friends who, when you hang out with them, they can't make decisions? So let's say you got a group of 5 friends, you're all kind of standing around, and you're like, so what are we going to do? And everybody's like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And everybody keeps saying that, well, I don't know, what do you want to do? I'm the person who always comes in and says, enough is enough. We've been talking about this for half an hour now. If I don't say anything, we're going to be standing here another 2 hours. Let's just go here. Let's go. Everybody, let's go. I'm like that because I give it some time, but then after a while, I'm just like, okay.
You get really irritated.
Can you make a fucking decision already? Seriously. So now take that part of my personality and apply it to the whole wedding proposal, marriage proposal thing. So I'm like, okay. You keep talking about it. You keep saying you're going to do it. But she keeps saying, okay, is this the right time? Is this the perfect situation? Is it too romantic? Is it not romantic enough? What about the ring? There's all of these. Like,
I overthink it.
She was so overthinking it. And it was just like, okay, she spent so much time thinking about making the proposal perfect to where she didn't do it. And I'm like, okay, screw it. So we're laying there in bed the other night, getting the bingo cards together for the bingo fundraiser that we did yesterday. And, you know, we're laying there in bed, and we're talking about this proposal again.
It's like 4 in the morning,
so I'm like,
and we're talking, yeah.
all right, Gina, just do it. So I just roll over on top of her, I sit on her, and I say, Andrea Marie Klein-Hexel, will you marry me? And she freaked.
I did. First I said yes. Of course
then
I said
she
yes.
freaked.
Then I freaked. And I freaked because, well, I like to do things a lot of times so that I'm in control of that situation. So I don't freak out. Because if you know it's coming, you're prepared for it. Whereas, like, I had no idea. I was tired. I remember at 2 o'clock, I'm like, I just want to go to bed. We got big things to do tomorrow. And, like, we were talking. It was, like, this really good conversation. And the next thing I know, she's above me, holding my hand, proposing to me. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm completely overwhelmed now because I did not know this was coming. Even though we were talking about it and, you know, like, we knew it was right. We know that we want to be with each other forever. Like, this is a big deal for both of us. Like, marriage is, like, a one-time thing for us. So,
well, for her, because this will be my second.
Well, right, but she's always said that when I meet the right person, it's it. Like, this is the only time I'm going to do the second marriage thing.
And I'll be honest with you. I will be very honest with you. Had I not come out, I would still be married to my ex-husband. I'm very much that commitment person. Once I make a huge commitment like this, it's like so for real, you know, for me, and I'm really, really, really dedicated to that relationship. And had I not come out, had I not realized that I was a lesbian, I would still be married. I would be going on 18 years of marriage. Literally, honestly, I swear I would not be divorced had I not come out. So it's big for me.
It is big. And for me, like I've always said, I'm not going to do this over and over again. You know, I'm going to wait until the right person comes into my life, and I'm going to know it's right. And, you know, Gina just came in without any warning, without, you know, it was very unexpected, and it felt very right from the first day on. And I do believe that you can meet the person and know right away that you're supposed to be together forever. And we did, and here we are, and we're engaged, and we're, you know, fiancés. Like
fiancé. What a nice word. So I called my mom because we wanted to tell our family members and our closest friends first before we announced it on Facebook. Because I don't know about the rest of you. If I hear that my really good friend is getting married on Facebook and they didn't bother to call me or even text me to tell me before they announced it, I get a little irritated. So I was like, okay, I'm going to call my mom. We're going to get this going. I called my mom and I was just like, I just want to let you know that Andrea and I are getting married, and you know, even though it won't be legal in Wisconsin, we really want to do it. We want to do the ceremony. And she said, what do you mean it's not legal? You can't get married legally in Wisconsin? I'm like, no. She goes, well, there's got to be a state somewhere near you where you can go do it legally. Why do it if you're not going to be legal? And she's like, well, where is that? Like Iowa? So I'm like, yeah, Iowa's close to us. She said, you should go to Iowa, get married legally, then come back to Wisconsin, and then do a big ceremony. And so we were just like, well, we thought about that. Andrea and I talked about that. We were just like, I don't know if we really want to do that. We want to go get married one place, then come back and do a ceremony. But my mom convinced me that we really should go to Iowa and get married first, and then do the ceremony. So we're going to go get married on September 2nd, 2011 in Iowa. And then September 3rd, on Saturday, we're going to have our ceremony. Yep. Very, very nice, simple ceremony, nothing too big or extravagant. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be more of a celebration and not a big hoopla. You know, I don't really like the bigness that people try to put into weddings. I don't like that. So it's going to be very low key, very nice, very simple. Kick your shoes off. It's going to be a party, a celebration. So that's pretty much what we decided. So, all right.
Check in with us. We'll be updating on the whole wedding, all the plans.
All the plans, the good and the bad. Check it in. All right, we are available on iTunes. All you have to do is go to iTunes and search for Sisters Talk Radio. We're also available on Stitcher, which is a podcast application for your BlackBerry and your iPhone. You can go to our radio show page at sisterstalkradio.net. And if you're not watching this video on the YouTube site, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Sisters Talk Radio. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.
Bye.